Hi there, my name is Dominic and this is Vlog 8. This is when we begin to actually develop the theme that I started out with. And I'm actually going to do some development of the theme instead of just talking. But we're not quite done with the talking, I'm afraid, just yet, because I want to just very, very briefly, before I begin, describe my little idiosyncratic method of composing, of developing a theme, which is, as I said, just laying a sort of foundation stone, just one stone among many of the foundation which must be laid. And what I do is that I've got this is my block of MIDI data, my notes, if you like. This is my theme here. And it's a bit like, Russian dolls. You got this, you got the doll, you got the doll, and you got a doll within the doll, and so on and so forth, right down to the little tiny one right in the middle, and that's how I think of it. So within the theme, within this theme, which might be just a kind of collection of motifs, sort of not really connected with each other, but just a collection of them, and I think of it as like you've got to unpack. You've got to unpack the themes, and you've got to unpack the entire music sketch. So this is my sketch, the entire thing, which is composed of motifs and themes and things like that. And you've got to sort of unpack it. This is kind of like a statement, and then like in philosophy, for example, the statement. Low taxes stimulate the economy. All right, that's a kind of a statement. And in philosophy, in political philosophy, what you've got to do is you've got to unpack the statement and you've got to define all your terms. So you've got to define what low taxation is. You've got to define taxation first and then low taxation. Then you've got to define the word stimulates in the context of the economy and low taxation. And you've got to define what is meant by the economy, and you so on and so forth. And you unpack all these words which are used in the statement, and you arrive at a clear understanding of what the statement is trying to say, and then you begin to analyze the truth validity of the statement. So that's kind of what you have to do in philosophy, and it's the same in music. Really, it's sort of unpacking everything. And the other way of looking at it, also, it's like those sort of Christmas sort of trailers or birthday trailers. They all come sort of packed up, and you've got to unpack it all, and you unpack the trailer, the streamer, and you get this kind of shape emerging from what is the packed up version of the streamer, of the shape. And I think it's a process of unpacking everything, and as you unpack, so the piece begins to expand, beginning at the left hand side, which is which is suggestive of the actual introductory section, going all the way over to the right hand side, which is perhaps suggesting how the piece will go ahead. Although I suppose at any point along this x-axis, you can start to develop things and looking ahead to how the piece might actually go from there. So basically, it's an unpacking process, and if we go straight in now, and as I promised, I began to look at this theme, and what I did was if we just sort of contract this a little bit, so you can see what's going on, and this is the kind of like, this is one of the Russian dolls, which contains dolls within dolls. So, for example, excuse me for the popping. It's because it's screen saving and running Reason at the same time. Doesn't like it. But this is a motif, a rising motif. It could be just a rising motif of three notes. So you could actually, that could be one motif, a part of the introductory section. But actually, what I did was I decided that this whole phrase, and I actually stopped there and I actually took that note away, and I actually just elongated this note to the end of bar, to the end. So we got three to bar 4. So we got 3 bars. We've got a little motif going here, and if I just close this up, this has been my original data, and I have a look at this, and as you'll notice, this is the basic phrase. And what I thought was, what it kind of suggests to me is just the basic G sharp major triad, which actually begins this whole piece of music, and what I wanted to do really was come up with a kind of like an opening motif, really, which I think is